You know, it's not the same as. Oh, that's backwards. I know, Coco. I know. Oh, believe me, I know. Let me just. Your memory is ecstasy. I miss you more than life. Tweet this ish out. There we go. Let me pull up the late Discord. Alright, I'm gonna go turn off the fan real quick. Get some water. Oh, I already got water. Nice. What's up, Paul?
Hello.
How you doing?
Just won an ARAM.
You just. Oh, nice.
Yup. Pretty big deal.
Who'd you play?
I was on Volibear.
Ooh. Is he any good in ARM? I can't imagine he's great.
I enjoy him in ARAM. I had 17 kills.
Really?
But then again, I was playing with a friend who's bronze.
So it was a little bit one-sided then.
Yeah. Cause yeah.
Testing. Okay, there we go.
I kill farm a lot in ARAM anyways, so.
That
Cause
sounds
why wouldn't you?
pretty on par for the course for you.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're always kind of kill whoring in general, aren't you?
True. I do like kills. It's
I
because
mean,
I'm willing to risk it all for a kill.
Is there anything wrong with that though, technically?
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
I play exactly as I preach. I preach to watch Chinese League, and I play exactly like they would.
That's fair. Anything else going on in life?
No, not really. Just doing, yeah, just playing League and all that.
You ready for our upcoming playoff match?
Yeah, who do we play? Do we know yet?
No, we still don't know yet. Bingus Boys
So,
lost, so I'm assuming that means that we play either the winner of
so
Panther
how's this work?
Core
Are
or
they out?
I have no clue. I look at it this way. I'm just gonna wait until they have until I think tomorrow to play it, or no, the 5th. Sorry, they have until the 5th to play it, and then we have to.
And then we
Actually,
have a week,
yeah, I
right?
think. Let me just pull up the captain's quarters thing again.
Wait, there's
Uh,
only one game?
no, there should be two.
It looks like they only play one for tiebreaker.
All right, tiebreakers are required to be played by the 5th. They're asking if possible, all games get played before January 10th for first round of playoffs. So we're gonna have like a 5-day window to try and schedule this.
Oh, June 10th. Okay.
Yeah,
Ben gets home the 8th?
because we only have 5 days. Whatever works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and say, look, if you can do the 8th, 9th, or 10th, that would be much better. But ultimately, we don't have all that much of a say
Yeah.
on it, given the.
What do you
short-
think about Kento and I switching lanes?
I don't mind it as long as you guys are comfortable with your roles and comfortable with shot calling. Like the biggest thing that I just want is that I feel like our team fighting is really good.
Yep.
And I would just like to make sure that we have picks that we can scale well into a team fight. So whether
Yep.
that's like Vayne, Sivir, I could do on hit Varus, Senna, anything like that we want to do, we can do. I just want to make sure that we scale well. We can play aggressive in those picks. Like that's the thing. Like even if we have a scaling comp, I don't want it to like come off like, oh, we need to do nothing for 15 minutes. No, you can still gank, you can get kills and get the champions that you need to carry late game ahead. But you can have a team comp that does that well.
I only picked the Sedge game 1 because I wanted to see how we played with a tank jungle
And we played really well.
kind of get a feel. And when we completely curb stomped them, I felt really good. I was like, that's good.
Yeah.
I
game
mean,
2 was technically more of a stomp.
yeah, but the one thing I liked about game 1 was that on Sedge, since I don't have to farm at all, I blew mid and top flashes before 5 minutes.
Which was great because we were getting smashed bot.
Yeah, and then I just like perma stood bot lane and hovered and just kept you guys from getting shoved out, which felt nice.
It all worked out in the end. Not like
I mean, you guys played insane lane. And I mean, it was a little bit of both. Like, you guys were playing really well, in my opinion, and they were kind of sucking, and that helps.
They definitely were sucking. Like, I don't want to take anything away from that. Like, they definitely flopped the
But I was very
Caitlyn
impressed with
lane.
what you two did.
How we stayed alive as long as we did is surprising. Like, we walked out of that with, I think, 2 deaths before 20 minutes, which I'm happy with. And considering that we were trading those deaths with kills in other lanes, that's a win.
Yep, that's why I don't like saying that just, oh, someone else was bad, so that bails, because it bails out all the hard work that other people have to put in surviving the lane.
I just don't like to give myself all that much credit. Like, it's one of those, like, you want to try and be, like, humble about it and be like, yeah, they just, they had an off day, etc. But at the same time, like, we fucking shit on them, so I don't know.
What I'm interested in, if Kento and I switch lanes, is I'm definitely a lot more aggressive of a player.
Mm-hmm.
And he's more of like he can at least keep the game saved, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could have done that lane that you and Rico did, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have played actually scale lane. I need kills. Like, it just gets my game flowing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like jungle for that.
I'm curious to see if Kento is going to be able to do that.
Play with you. Yeah, I wanted to play with you this season, and I don't want to dip on that yet.
I want to win. I don't give a fuck how we do it. I don't give a crap
I
what
know.
role you're playing. It makes no difference to me.
And I still haven't got to pull out my red cane yet.
Well, we'll see with this upcoming patch if that helps you at all.
Well, Red Cane is busted still.
So is Lilia,
Cause
but you know,
true, my Lilia wasn't too bad. It
no, it
wasn't
was
too
not.
bad.
First time playing it too,
It wasn't really my first time. Like I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on her,
but
and I've
first
played her
time
in
in an
A-ranks.
actual like
But yeah, first
competitive
time
game.
trying out the clear and all that. But I already know the clear, and if you watched back, I was actually doing really well. I was clearing Gromp and Blue at the same time. Like
Nice,
I felt really clean on her. I
nice.
Yeah, but I liked not streaming the games also.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say why publicly, but I liked not streaming
I'll
the
say why
games.
publicly. I think they might have been stream sniping.
Yeah.
If they weren't, they weren't. But you know, if they weren't, then that's a compliment to them. That you know, great, you were able to read us like a book. But the fact that we smashed 2-0 against the other two teams, one of which they lost to
Beat them.
2-1,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like I mean, grant again, like you said, we were having an off day against them,
Yep.
and it was the
We
first
hadn't
time many
played
of
in a
us
while.
had played in quite some time. But
Yep.
I some of those moves
I
were a
just
little
want to play him
sketch.
again. I want to play him again.
Was it
I was only getting annoyed because high key it was insane how every time I stood in mid river bush, he was playing back to his turret.
my question? Was it warded or no?
No, I was sweeping him. I was adding extra wards because I felt so paranoid.
Hmm.
Like Kento and I were sweeping the same paths over and over again, but like switching the paths enough that we could cover more grounds, and we were still finding no wards, and he was playing super far back.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an explanation
But
for that one whatsoever.
I enjoyed it a lot. I thought we played exactly how we were supposed to play.
So then here's my question to you, because we're now on 12-10. We've actually played competitive games on it. How do you feel about the durability patch?
I like it a lot because, well, I like it because it makes some champs I enjoy playing feel a bit better. I definitely think it was a huge buff to fighters. Uh,
Yeah.
like it feels really good on fighters. I'm sure ADCs love it.
Scaling ADCs love it. I'm sure early game ADCs like hate it. And those that actually enjoyed lethality, but like I mean,
Yeah,
you know me. I've been a very vocal proponent of the fact that I don't like lethality ADCs. Like I
yeah,
just I don't like how they function. I don't like how they operate. It just feels weird. I want to be able to put off as many autos as I can into somebody and combine that with my other abilities, and
yep,
that is satisfying to me. I I love it. Like understandably, I play all scaling ADCs. I've been playing a lot of Sivir, which is great. I've been playing a lot of Varus, which is great. Vayne is fun. Like I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I've seen a
yeah,
lot of people complain about the lack of being able to burst damage people, to which I would say I've still seen a lot of people, at least at a gold level, snowballing games early because they get kills. So,
I'm not buying that argument that you can't still take over a game, but I'm also a hyper aggressive player,
yeah.
so I can take over a game, but I think you still can. I think
What
it's a
what
little harder.
what do you make of Double's point though, where he says that it rewards bad positioning?
Oh, I didn't see that. He
Yeah.
said that.
So Doublelift and a few others have come out saying that they think that is too strong. They think that the patch is too far because it allows players to be in positions that they shouldn't be in, and basically rewards you for being unskillful.
Yeah, I see. Here's how I counter argue it though. In my head, I think we needed this though because of the anti wards patch like 2, 3 years ago by now, maybe 4 years ago by now.
Yeah.
Like we've needed this because if you're gonna make wards impossibly hard to get, you kind of have to give people you have to cut them some slack.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for the overall game. Maybe it's terrible for pro play, but I haven't seen it in pro play yet, so I don't even know how we judge it.
Neither do I.
But
Uh,
I think it's a good patch. I think it's really good for fighters, like I said, and ADCs. I think it's pretty good for mages that have overtime damage,
Yeah.
and I'm not really understanding how, like, I don't know who would hate it. I don't know why you would hate it. I guess because you're a tank only player, but if you're a tank only player, it's really not that bad for tanks either. The only
Here's my
people who I can see hating it is assassins.
here's my question that I would love to know from Double Lift and those that make the positioning argument. Why is a position predetermined to be good or bad? Like why does one's actions that were done historically under different contexts, why is that now the basis of being good or bad? If a patch changes how the game plays, if a patch allows you to be more durable and allow you to play more aggressive, which typically would have been more punishing, isn't that like there's no such thing as like bad? That's not a bad position then. That's the correct position for the current patch.
Yeah,
Like your only determination of what's good or bad is historical context. But if things
I think
change, then that's rendered irrelevant.
it's a hard nerf on someone like Gala probably, who can abuse you in lane, and it's a buff to everyone else who gets to play against them because they get a bit more health. But at the same time, Gala still gets to overextend more because he has more
That's what I was
health.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Like,
but
isn't that technically a
I
buff
don't
to
think
Gala?
no, only because he has to go through more health and he has to overextend longer to chip whittle them down. And over the longer you're overextended, the more risky the play is.
Which is fair. But
But
to Double's
I
point, if it's to be believed, then him overextending like that is technically
yeah, I don't understand the whole overextended thing. I'd have to listen to it, I guess. But I can kind of understand like his or his mispositioned argument, but I don't think it really matters because people are still dying really fast in my games. I don't know about other people's games. I'm
yeah.
not. Yeah, they're
I feel
dying
like
really quick.
there's gonna be a massive difference between casual and pro play, where
Yeah,
these small changes are the difference between life or death.
yeah, but even watching Champions Queue, still, I'm seeing people take over games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. They're still pretty quick fights. I mean, they're at a good spot now. The
Yeah.
level I'd say they need to be,
They're nerfing the tower damage, which is gonna be interesting.
which is I think is good because that tower damage was a little crazy.
Yeah. I'm
I think it
fine with
was
that
literally a
one.
direct nerf to LPL, low key, if they would have left it.
Okay,
Because of
so
how often they tower dive, you know what I mean?
that actually that brings me to the next kind of topic that I wanted to swap to, unless you have anything else on 1210.
No.
We talked about this privately, but I want this to be put out in public. The LPL is the best region in the world. And
Yeah.
anybody not acknowledging that at this point or saying that T1 should have won or that it was a fluke that RNG won is narcissistic and quite frankly needs to get a check on reality. I don't know what to say on this, but do you have any comments on what like the LCK rhetoric that has been all over social media since T1 lost?
Uh, I do think. I think yeah that LPL has to be the best region in the world at this point. Like you'd be crazy to not think so. I I've seen a lot, yeah, of the LCK stuff in T1. I the one thing I have not understood the most is the side selection. Like them
Oh yeah, that's
T1
just dumb.
fans believing that they were owed side selection makes me laugh because one, they were second seed. If you don't do a coin flip, right? Coin flip basically was in favor of SKT from the jump
Yep.
because it gave them a chance at getting an option that they never earned in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They didn't deserve to have side selection. They were just given an opportunity to get it. And I think it was stupid in general. I think it should be Flames. I think the number one seed or the higher seed from groups should be given side selection.
Yeah. I think
Like I don't
that's a whole
understand
other
why that.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
going to be a point of conversation going forward because I'm hoping that the MSI format changes. So it'll be
yeah,
double elim, so it shouldn't matter anyways. Uh,
yeah. But that with that out of the way, yeah, SK the T1 stuff is just kind of cope, I'd say, because I mean people want them to win and they want LCK to be better, because well, a lot of Western fans are LS fans, and if you watch the streams, I mean LPL gets no views compared to LCK,
yeah.
so there's not a lot going there as far as people enjoying LPL. Now, another thing that I think makes people struggle to fall in love with LPL as much as LCK is that there's so many more teams. So
Yep.
RNG could realistically not make Worlds, and that wouldn't be shocking because there are probably 4 deserving teams behind them.
Yep.
And yeah, and you don't really have that with LCK. So you get those fakers, you get those showmakers who consistently play well and show up, and you get to watch them. And people have fallen in love with T1 since the jump. They're easy to cheer for because they have Faker. They have a bunch of young rookies that are fun to watch. I thought it was hilarious reading the T1 people coping, saying that their rookies are just rookies, and Owner and uh, Gumayusi need more time to get older because the 2 dudes they got beat by are both dudes who in their rookie years won MSI and then won it again in their second year. I told you that
Yep.
the other day. I think that's just not an argument you can have. Like, really, and they went to a game 5.
Yep.
It's not like they played terrible. They made it to game 5, and I don't know why they're all so angry and sending death threats. And on top of that all, I'm just gonna end this with I am so thankful and so glad that they hard forced LPL into the tournament.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't, we wouldn't have got that series, and that was a good series. It was
I
fun to watch.
this MSI has specifically showed me that LCK fans might be some of the most entitled fans that I've ever come across in my life. Like,
Yeah.
TSM fans were annoying in their prime, sure. Fnatic fans were obnoxious. T1 fans are just entitled. They feel like they're owed the title of not like best organization in the world, best league in the world, everything else whenever they're purely relying upon that for historical context.
Yep.
Like 6 out of the last 8 international tournaments have all gone to China. China
Yep.
is the best region in the world, and Emily Rand said it best on the Riff Reactions podcast I was listening to earlier today. The reason why I feel like a lot of people write off the LPL so much whenever you come into these tournaments, or why people don't, consider them like overwhelming favorites, despite the fact that they probably should be given their track record recently, is that getting through the LPL is so grueling. It is the hardest league to qualify out of for MSI or even Worlds. And you have to
Mhm.
adopt very specific play styles for each team that work well within the league. It's a
Mhm.
very similar thing that you see with the NFL, where like teams will define their style and just refine it throughout the year and ride that as far as they can, hoping that it can take them all the way.
Yep.
Does that automatically make them the best team in the world? It makes them best in that individual league, but then you don't get a true taste of that in league specifically until you get on the international stage. And then it's like, oh, well, we've only been seeing them play this one way. I guess that was just to get through China. Holy shit, they're just really good in general. It's like, yeah, the
Yeah.
LPL is the hardest league in the world. And I get what you're saying where it's harder to follow because there are so many teams. But that's one of those things where uh actually that's actually the perfect analogy. I think the reason why so many people have a hard time getting into the LPL is because everybody's a fan of players when it comes to
Mhm.
Western League, whether that's the LCK, the LEC, the LCS. So you don't see many people just picking a team and supporting them, barring T1.
Yep.
So whenever you get to the LPL and there are so many players and so many different teams, you just have to pick a team and stick with it because things move so consistently that it's like if you back the org, That's how you get your fandom. But that's not
Yep.
something that non-traditional sports fans or non-traditional or esports fans that don't follow regular sports, or more specifically like Western League of Legends fans, they're just not used to. So they can't understand it and can't relate to it. It's not like, oh, X team is playing on a show up at X time. Like that's how it should work.
Yep.
At least in my
It's
eyes.
true. And when and you run into the fact that all these people can't really watch the LPL, or it's not an easy barrier of entry to get into, you to crash and burn so they can cry.
LPL ain't crashing and burning. I don't know how biased you are, Alex. I don't know who your team is, but I'll tell you right now, LPL ain't crashing and burning anytime soon. Every other league better pray to God that they can find a way to catch up, because everybody else is just falling behind at this point.
Yeah. I I don't know. I don't really see a chance for other leagues to like surpass them that bad. I do think it's going to be really healthy for LCK to get Damwon back in there. I think that's really good for them, and it should add some different perspective. But LPL just has insane talent, and they
Yeah.
have it coming from everywhere. Maybe in like 10 years, when the under 18 law really starts affecting all the kids, it'll change everything. But I think they'll be able to still play through it, to be honest.
Yep.
I think they'll
I don't
still
think it's
have
going to impact
kids.
them all that much.
Yeah, I think they'll still have kids who are naturally good, and they'll just wait until they're 18 or 19 to really start popping off and all that.
Yeah.
And what is kind of amazing still is how insanely hateful Asia is, like country to country. You
Yeah.
sometimes forget it until they play each other,
Oh, I
and you
know.
start to see it online. They really do just hate each other.
I never
Like,
thought about it until MSI. It's like, okay, China
yeah,
and Korea there, it's like, I thought it was going to be one of those situations where, like, you know, if we both let's both make it to the finals and then we'll duke it out there, and like, great, like,
yeah,
we're the two best leagues, screw everybody else. Like, there's a little bit of camaraderie in there, even though there obviously is rivalry. It's like EU and NA. It's like, okay, if we're playing against each other, fuck each other. But if we're on opposite sides of the bracket, everybody's like, okay, can we get EU and NA to make a run? Like, that would be great. But yeah, the Asian teams and Asian countries just hate each other in league for some reason. I don't know why. By the way,
yeah,
hi Raffle from Poland. I know my last name is
yeah.
Polish, so it's always nice to see other people that can actually read it and not look at it like it's alphabet soup.
Yeah, and realistically, like, I kind of get it, why they all hate each other. Like, it's understandable. If the Euro leagues weren't divided by a country, they'd probably all flame each other too in some way. But Asia is just so much more aggressive.
They
It
are.
always surprises me. But it is, I don't know. The one thing I do like about LPL dominating for now is that they've they have proven that NA is at least the third best region to put a major in. Like, goodness.
For a second I thought you were saying like third best region as a whole. I was about to say, dude,
No, no, no.
I love North America, but I'm not on that much
Third
hopium.
best to put a major tournament in, because
Oh yeah.
Korea was terrible
Oh, I
if
was
China's
not a
playing
fan.
well.
I was
Yeah, if
not a fan of
that
just the
crowd
event.
was awful, bro.
It was like, it's amazing how well, like, I think Riot hit a gold mine when it comes to Korea, in the sense that you don't have to host events in Korea for them to watch, which is
Yeah,
great because the crowds are so much better elsewhere. Like, literally everywhere else but
yeah.
Korea.
Because at least North American fans will boo.
Yeah.
Like, if we are so hateful, we will boo our own team too. I know it's dumb, but it's just how it
Yep.
is here. And we'll sit there and we'll be annoying in some way. LPL crowds are just, well, Chinese crowds are just crazy because they're so packed. We already talked
They
about
just
that.
want to see hype plays. They don't care who
Yeah,
it is or where, like, they just want to pop off.
yeah, and they like good plays.
Yep.
We haven't seen a Chinese crowd in recent years with a Korean team winning. So that would be interesting to see.
And we're not going to anytime soon, so you
Yeah,
don't
we
have to
might
worry.
not.
You don't have to worry about that. You're fine.
And we know EU crowds are good, but Korean crowds just like failed. If that was a test, they got like a 54%.
Yeah,
Like
it,
that
it
was
was
really
not.
bad.
Like,
Yeah.
when you directly compare LCS finals to MSI, which MSI should have a much louder crowd. It should be
Yeah.
like it should be 2x what we heard at LCS finals. But LCS finals just blew them out of the water.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those where
I
like
mean, yeah.
we sat there and we watched the LFL play games for a while and we're jealous of that. And then we got the LCS back with the crowd and it was like, okay, this is nice in the stadium. Like, I just want to see it with a full venue. The venue came and it was insane there. And then it's like, okay, we're building, we're building, we're building. And then we get to MSI and it's like
Oh,
relatively quiet. It's like, oh,
yeah.
this sucks. Like I
Yeah,
didn't
relative is being nice. Like,
I
yeah.
like, and the thing is Korea's gonna get worlds next year.
Yeah, which is disappointing because I don't think they deserve it now. But hopefully their crowd like gets better. I don't know how
Yeah.
you just get better as a crowd, but I don't know what has to happen. Like I don't know if they have to start playing better or what, but that can't happen again. Like
No.
just because China's good doesn't mean the whole crowd can stay silent. And some people were saying it was because Chinese fans can't travel, so that hurt it.
Oh
Because
no,
if they
that
travel,
definitely hurt it. But still.
yeah. But even then, you shouldn't have to have the Chinese there just to make the games exciting.
Yeah. Because what happens when you come to Worlds and you have 4 LPL teams
Yeah.
and you have a large amount of games where the LPL is playing literally anybody and the LPL smashing them, and it's just dead quiet. Like, and it's not even just the LPL games either. Like, I don't know if this is on Riot for not getting the sound right, but it seemed like every time that the LCK wasn't playing, it was just dead quiet in general.
Yep.
Like, not even just the Chinese teams, like just in general, there wasn't really all that much going on, and that's just upsetting. Because like what was it? It was the one that was, I guess, a Chinese pop off moment. So I guess I can't really. I'm trying to think of like a hype moment between any other region where I didn't remember a crowd, but I can't even remember like.
Uh huh.
There's none that I could think of.
That a crowd didn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean the only crowd moments that I remember were T1 games. That's literally it.
Yeah. I
Do you
mean, no.
do you remember any other time where the crowd
A
popped off?
couple JoJo Pune ones.
Okay.
Like EG, they would cheer for, but
That maybe
it
it was.
wasn't. I don't know.
Maybe it was a little bit more on Riot's sound mixing team than we think it is.
They were hyped for G2 though. They like caps. Oh well, yeah, he says it right here. But yeah, Rafa said it too. But yeah, there was a few times during G2 where they went crazy. But the thing here's what hurt them is that G2 instantly plays T1, right?
Yep.
So you're not gonna think of it like that. And honestly, by the time we wouldn't remember them cheering for G2 because G2 lost 5 straight. Like
Yeah.
everyone kind of just remembers the bad. It's okay when you start out really hot, but it's an absolute. I'd rather end hot
Yeah, then start off
than
hot.
start hot. Yeah, like even if you're gonna lose, right? At least lose 3-2 maybe. But there's no way they would have cheered during a series where G2 won against T1.
No.
I don't think they would have.
No,
I don't
not
think
at
they would
all.
have been willing to. And I understand being passionate to an extent, and like not in a bad. I'm not saying this in a bad way, but nationalist to an extent, because I'm not saying nationalists like they're crazy.
I
I'm
mean, there
saying it
were
like in a
some
game.
people like that I will say need to cut their shit. Like whoever the hell
Yeah,
was like really pushing the anti-Chinese narratives, like
yeah, yeah,
go look in
yeah.
the mirror, please.
Well, yeah, I found it hilarious that one LPL caster, like, tweeted
Oh,
way back in the day.
Munchables. Yeah.
Yeah, Munchavels at tweets about how he doesn't think T1's as good as everyone thinks they are, and they're not just gonna stomp MSI. And Joe tweets at him, and then Joe doesn't respond to the second one. He might have later, but he
Yeah.
didn't when I read it. And
I don't think he did in general.
like the guy in the tweet where he points out the fact that T1 got in the tweet where he points out to Joe, he's like, oh, they're fine. Like after Joe tried to talk trash, uh, the guy was still getting comments of people saying like nobody watches LPL, shut up, nobody cares. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's only like the most popular or the most money region in the world for a reason. And people kept saying LPL can only win with Korean players. This was a full Chinese roster,
Yep.
which is terrible for
Yep.
everyone else. This is not good. LPL is getting
We're done.
less. What? Yeah, they're getting
done.
more domestic and they're winning more.
I am gonna try and watch more of the LPL this split and pick a team just to stick with. And I it might be RNG, I don't know. But I want to pick a team and go with it. That way, whenever it comes to Worlds, I can hopefully have a team there that I'm cheering for out of China.
Yeah.
Because I plan on cheering on the Chinese teams heavily.
Yeah.
Is it weird to say that I'm actively going to be cheering against the LCK just to watch them continue to fail? I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
What? Is it worth what?
Just watching the LCK fail at Worlds. Like
I
imagine
guess.
I'd like
I don't.
like
I don't know.
I think it'd be cool as shit to see 4 LPL teams in the semifinals.
I'd like America to try.
Oh no, I'd like America to like. I'd love
Yeah,
for
but
us
we
to
won't.
live in
I
like
know we won't.
I like being realistic. Like us making semifinals is highly unlikely. Would be phenomenal. I think it'd be great. But if we can't have an American team in there or like a solid European team, I'd rather just see 4 LPL teams than just watch all of the Chinese fans or all the Korean fans mauled.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I do agree with what Rafa said though, that it was sad that Joe was getting so much hate for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, by all means,
So
that tweet was talking a little bit of shit, which I like. It's fine.
Oh no, I mean the other stuff that Korean fans were doing.
Oh no! Oh yeah,
Like
that
the
was
death
horrible.
threats. Yeah, the death threats and all that was
Whoever the
crazy.
fuck was blaming Joe? He's the best thing that's happened to T1 in years.
Yeah.
Like, how are you
I
gonna
mean,
blame him?
yeah.
He's the only reason you still have Faker.
Yeah. I mean, TSM wishes they would have had a CEO like him come through and save us earlier.
Yeah.
But that is, I mean, they have Dom now. It's not terrible, but it's whatever. The one thing too, though, I think that could save Korea is Nuguri coming back with Showmaker and Canyon. I'm not sure how Damon's bottom lane is gonna hold up though.
Here's my question though: are 2 teams indicative of a strong region?
No, but I do think Showmaker is really good for League.
Agreed, but I don't think he's as good as the 20 different top lane or the 20 different
Mid laners, yeah.
mid laners in China that could just come in and take his spot.
The
Like
only thing though is that him, Canyon, and Nuguri are probably the only 3 topside that I firmly believe can still stop, or at least give us a good series against China.
Yeah. You know who
I mean, T1 did a good job though. Still.
You know who I feel bad for most out of everybody?
Who?
The Riot Games music team and our team who is working on the world song as we speak. And they're working on the world's music video. Who the fuck do you pick to go into the song? Like you can pick anybody from RNG and there's a very high likelihood that they're not even there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I still think RNG could get back. I think they want to.
Is there any team from MSI that you see miss out of the four major regions that you see missing Worlds?
Um, mm, mm. Honestly, I don't know. I want to say either EG or G2 because their their runs were so weird.
Yeah.
Like the 9-0 runs they did to get there were both very weird. And I could see a world where one of them doesn't make it back. I could I could see EG struggling back here. Because as
Uh,
much as it's good for Jojo, Pune, and Danny to get that experience, I don't know if it was completely perfect for Danny to be getting destroyed every game.
I think it was great for JoJo. Like I think this MSI
Great for
tournament was
Jojo, yeah.
phenomenal. He's got like JoJo's already a grinder. He plays 20 billion games of Champions Queue and Solo Queue already. That this tournament was probably just another run of the mill with a little bit more travel. Danny was heavily impacted. Danny was burnt out by the end of this, and he like tweeted about it and talked about it. And by all means, I don't want this to come off as like me saying that he's not allowed to be burnt out or he's not allowed to feel that way. He entirely is, and he's right. Like that's fine. It is a long grind from January until the beginning of June to play nonstop without a
Yeah.
solid break, and then 2 weeks off and right back into it.
Yep.
There is definitely a world where I see EG missing worlds because they come off hot. Like they don't have to
Yeah.
they don't have to practice much coming into the first few weeks of summer. Like I think they'll
Yeah.
naturally be good, but you run the risk of what happened with 2020 Cloud9 where you start off well and you just crash and burn by the end. Your burnout, you didn't get to really recover from it and you
Yep.
just by the time it's all said and done, you're trying to fix so many problems and you're so burnt out that it all collapses underneath you.
Yeah. And that's my point is that like I don't see them missing it, G2 or EG missing it because their teams aren't good enough. It's more that when you barely sneak in to MSI, right? And I mean barely sneak in. Yeah, I mean they did. They did.
Yeah.
They had to literally they won 9 straight games because they were in losers bracket.
Yep.
So they both sneak in and both of them kind of get destroyed in the best of fives at the end. Like that can really hurt your confidence in some ways, and you can still come back and play well, but grinding all that much, getting completely annihilated, and then still having to grind even more, and with that looming thought that once you get to Worlds, is it getting any easier? No, it's getting way harder.
Oh yeah.
And you already know how hard it is. That can really destroy people.
Yep.
I think is what destroys a lot of teams and why they come back from MSI so bad. Is because they know what it takes to win, and I don't think every team has it in them to do it twice.
No.
As much as we all want 2 international tournaments a year, I don't think all pro players have it in them to do it twice.
No,
Now,
I think
usually
the
this,
schedule definitely
yeah,
needs some tinkering to be able to like give these players a little bit better rest that go to MSI. You need
yeah,
something.
yeah.
But
Now,
I will
getting
say,
second place
okay.
usually does mean you can. I was just saying, second place teams do usually find a way.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing because they know that they were so close and they think they still got it, so they end up pushing themselves even harder.
I think T1 is definitely a lock. Like I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, I
Uh
agree.
G2 I actually think is a lock as well. Uh I'm not all that impressed with the level of the LEC right now. Uh I know EG got stomped like what 6 or 7 straight times by G2. Not taking anything away from that. I understand that the LEC is arguably, or at least G2 and their matchup against EG is better than North America. Uh, I still don't feel like the level of the LEC is all that impressive at the moment. So I think there's definitely a world where G2 pretty smoothly runs it back to Worlds. I'm not saying they win the split, but I think
Yep.
between them, Fnatic, and maybe Rogue, like that's it. I don't know about anybody else that I really see contending with them. Like really all that well. I know the LEC was mostly close. Like Misfits was decent, but Misfits got heavily exposed in best of fives, and I
Yep.
don't see that changing. And then the LCS with EG, well, RNG we've already said is like there's a lot of teams that could slot in there, so I'm not locking them. And EG
Yep.
is like yeah burnout, but also on top of that, Team Liquid in a meta where durability is better is going to be great for them. 100 Thieves, I'm a little bit worried about with this meta change. Cloud9 is retooled and can possibly be good. Possible, I say possibly for a reason. There's a chance that they could be great. There's a chance that Vent support could crash and burn. But
Yeah.
I feel like the overall level of the LCS has improved dramatically to the point where EG is going to be a lot more tested than G2 is in the LEC
Yep.
relative to the skill level.
Yeah, and I do like your point about Cloud9. That is going to be interesting. I'm interested to see. Once again, we're at that same spot where we always are.
Mm-hmm.
We think 100 Thieves, TL are really good. We still believe they're good. Now we think EG is really good, and we're curious if C9 is going to be any good, and we're curious if TSM is going to be any good.
I don't. I still think TSM. I
I still think
I
they
hate the
suck, to
fact
be
that it's
honest.
fucking 8 teams in playoffs. I hate that.
Yeah.
But I think Immortals has drastically stepped up their roster. I think Spica or not Spica, Jesus Christ. What's his name? Uh, Canvey. Canvey starting for Immortals, even though obviously I've been on his hype train for a while. I am very excited for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how well he meshes with PoE, who's a little bit of a slower player, but Canvey is very versatile and adaptable. So I've entire faith in that. CLG, I feel like they're just going to continue to get better. Especially, I think they made a change in their top lane. I think Dokla's now in,
Yep.
which Dokla's not bad. I mean, coming from the Optic days, kind of is what it is. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think the only reason I say TSM upgraded is because, um, in my opinion, I do think Maple is probably going to bring a lot more
I think Kai'Sa will.
veteranship to
Yeah,
the team that they need and skill. I know Maple was subbed out during his time in the LPL, but uh, I don't know how to explain it. Well, I do. LPL's a lot better, and
yeah,
Maple did really well in minor regions, and I think he could do that here. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
No, I'm 100% with you. I think he does a serviceably good job.
Yeah.
Uh, do I think that he automatically does better than like the top 7 other mid laners in the league?
Yeah.
Not
No.
necessarily.
No.
Like the only
Yeah.
good thing in my mind for mid lane in the entire LCS right now is the fact that Jensen came back, and he elevates the floor a little bit.
The great thing for Maple too, in my opinion, is that the NA mid lane talent pool right now is insane,
No,
which
Jen
he could bail him out.
Jensen coming
But
back helps.
yeah.
Bjergsen is still mid at best. Uh, Abadage is mid at best. Jojo Pune is one to watch now.
Yep, he's the
Like
one that
in
everyone's
my
gonna watch.
mind, like if he comes back and takes what he learned from MSI and applies it here, he's gonna be the best mid laner in the league.
And him and Inspired's incredible as well.
Yeah, like those two can
So
run over everybody
yep,
if they play it well.
it's gonna be very interesting because between yeah between those two, we're gonna have to see what happens, and then TL makes no changes. You're right though. Everyone else did make a lot of changes. Where did you say Dokla went?
Dokla went to CLG, replacing Jenkins.
Okay, so CLG
It
downgrades. So that's good for
Nah,
us.
that's lateral in my opinion. Like lateral is, I
Did
think,
Fly add anyone or subtract anyone?
that would
I
be
don't
an
think
out.
they did, right?
That would be an out. Oh wait, no, they did. FlyQuest brought back Ignar. Or no,
You're right.
no. Sorry,
No, I
Ignar went
thought
to
that was
Immortals.
Immortals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Immortals. Immortals is gonna be scary.
No, I think Immortals did build a good lineup.
Yeah. If
Where'd
they
Arrow go?
Arrow's no longer on a team.
Okay,
FlyQuest is the same
then
team,
we're
so it's
good.
still like Tukui, uh, Jose Dioto.
I really don't think FlyQuest is bad.
They're not bad, but
It,
they're middle of the pack still.
I do hate that. I'm with you though on the fact that we don't need 11 teams
What do you mean?
or 8 teams. My bad. I'm
Oh,
retarded.
18's in playoffs?
And
Yeah, no,
yeah, in
it's so
playoffs,
dumb.
it's
It's
very worthless.
so dumb. I hate it. Like, there needs to be some sort of reward for the regular season. Summer split is
Yeah.
literally meaningless. Like, regular
Yeah.
season wise, there's nothing to it. You're eliminating 2 teams that you likely know who they're going to be in the first place. Like, or not in the first. You'll know after the first 3 weeks who they're going to
Yep.
be. And then after that, it's like, okay, who gets the buys, who doesn't. Like, I don't know. I don't
It's
like it.
not good. It's not a good look.
No. And this goes into the whole formatting discussion of just like, what can you do to change the regular season to make it more meaningful so that the playoffs are, you could eliminate teams, or what do you, I don't know, do you do like a full double elim bracket and shorten the regular season?
Yep.
I'd prefer that. Shit. Take away that extra third cycle. Like, you know how they're doing I think it's 3 weeks or 3, is it still 3 full cycles of games in the summer split?
Um,
Or did they drop it back to 2?
is it 3? I think it's not. Is it?
That might
Actually,
have been
don't
one
know.
of the changes that they made. Hang on. LCS
That's a good
Summer
question.
Split 2022.
That's a good question, actually.
Okay, so it's back to a double round robin.
Okay, that's a good change. Good change.
That's a good change. My question would be, at this point, why not just throw all 10 teams in the playoffs?
I agree.
Why not?
I agree.
Why not have it just be like a 4-week regular season and immediately go into double round robin?
Yeah.
Or not double round robin, double elimination with every team getting a chance at double elim.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of meaningless games. I get it, but you're gonna have meaningless games in the regular season as well.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, one side of me does hate that they do 8 teams in playoffs, but I will say, as a fan of a lower team, a lower
Yeah, you directly
or
benefit from it.
performing team, that it does get me a lot more hyped to watch summer. I mean, I'm already excited for Worlds, but having hope that my team can make playoffs because you basically have to, like,
Yep.
you have an 80% chance of making it, which is disgusting. that is nice.
I can't wait until TSM is one of the teams.
Thank you, Dylan. I agree.
Like, it's gonna make me laugh so hard if they
They
somehow
won't miss
miss
it.
it.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm just saying.
Stop. They ain't missing it.
Immortals and TSM were last place by 2 games, or by one game over CLG.
Yeah.
CLG really didn't change all that much, other than just now having Dokla
Well,
top lane. So I don't really think that changes. Or wait, did they not? I thought they did. Or are they keeping Jenkins? Am I thinking something entirely wrong here? I'm looking at the League of Legends fandom thing, and I guess I was wrong. Dokla's not on there, not on CLG, unless they just didn't make that change. Hang on, now I have to look this up. Dokla, LOL. Oh, he's with CLG Academy. I thought they said they were going to start him, though. I don't know. Nevertheless, kind of irrelevant at the end of the day. But I don't know.
You know who I'm surprised didn't come back?
Who?
I'm surprised not a single team won in solo.
I mean, nobody ever won solo, for being honest. Like, nothing against the
Yeah,
guy,
but
but it's just
he's
like no
made
team ever.
worlds
Yeah,
consistently.
yeah. He could have went back to Immortals. Could have went with Immortals and I don't know, kicked Revenge out or some shit. Oh yeah, Gamsu with Dig. The 100 Thieves talent pipeline continues to pump out talent. We now have enough. We have.
Okay, you're getting a little facetious there.
Am I? Mid-season, name any other team that had players go to the LCS.
Yeah, but Gamsu's not you.
Gamsu. What do you mean? He was 100 Thieves.
Gamsu's been in the league.
Yeah, but
before.
he's been with. Who do you? 100 Thieves have given him a chance for a year
I
straight
know,
now.
I know, I
That
know.
counts. Kenvi counts. Poom counts. Luger counts. Tenacity's the only one
Yes.
left, and he's stuck in Academy hell.
I don't understand what they're doing with Academy or with Tenacity.
I don't know. I think my bet at this point is someday is just playing it too high of a level. Uh, even though you know, how high of a level that is, I don't know. He got spanked by Impact pretty bad, and Impact got spanked by everybody else. Uh, you just can't put him in. They're not willing to pull the trigger on it yet. So I think at this point you keep Someday for another year and a half, or you keep Someday this year, and then they're all of next year as well, and then you put General Sniper in.
That would be interesting.
Put the second General Sniper turns 17 and can play in the league, put him in. Like, tell his parents now, like, just start prepping this shit. Be like, hey, look, if he's not homeschooled already, which I think he might be, time to get him homeschooled. Like, you better like get ready. This kid's got a future ahead of him, and we want to put him in right away. Not to build any pressure, not like he's already good. We know the level that he can be, but he needs to start playing against top talent immediately. Like, literally immediately. He's another Danny case.
He is.
Except probably with a little bit better mental, but we'll see. He's played with Tyler 1. He has to have better mental. Golden Guardians, I'm not. Golden Guardians doesn't do anything for
Doing
me.
this wrong. Give me a sec.
What are you doing wrong?
Sorry. I was looking something up, but I typed it in wrong. It's too late now. But no. Oh, good point from Alex there. What do you think about TSM getting X Smithy?
We'll see. Same thing that I think is Golden Glue being the academy coach and development coach for 100 Thieves. I'm not sure what all these players know about like putting in good development pipelines and the infrastructure behind it. Sure, they might be like decent in-game coaches, like positional
X
coaches. Sure.
Smithy's really good though, like player wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He was.
I'm not like. It's one of those things where I don't like to speculate on coaching stuff whenever they have no prior experience because we have no clue.
Fair enough.
We have literally zero clue on how he's going to do because it's a different skill set entirely. Same thing with Mithy. Whenever Mithy swapped over to head coach, like immediately, it was like, how the fuck do you judge this? Like, just because you're a good shot caller in game does not mean you know how to micromanage personalities on a team. That is a drastically different skill set. Okay, let me clear up this distinction because I got in trouble for my wording on this on TikTok. I think players going to coaching can be good, can be very good. There are numerous examples of ex-players that are phenomenal coaches. I'm just saying that we can't judge them based on their time playing as a coach. That like they're two separate things. You have to go into them coaching with a fresh mindset. That doesn't mean you discriminate against them, nor do you favor them going into it. It's just Jesus Christ. It is just entirely mutual.
Yeah.
Luna. But okay, I'll let you go. I need to calm them down.
Yeah, you're good. But I would say I agree that players do need time. 23 MP. But players do need time to figure it out, especially going into coaching. Uh, it's hard though. The thing is not getting too excited because sometimes you want to believe that the players can coach dudes into as good as they were. Like, I would love the thought that X Smithy could turn TSM jungler into as good as he was. That would be awesome. But I don't even remember who our academy guy is for jungle.
Couldn't tell you. The thing that I do hate though, and this is the part that I tried calling
I
out,
think
but
it's Hyper. It is Hyper.
yeah.
And I have not been impressed with Hyper. So,
The thing that I hate is when players go from playing to coaching back to playing.
yeah, I can agree
Barring
with that.
barring Bjergsen, and even Bjergsen is not at that level anymore.
Hmm.
I hate it. You're taking away from talent development. Who was the person that just announced that they're going back to playing again? Um Shit, who was it? I tweeted about it when I was on vacation, and some random dude who was just clearly trying to troll me to a certain extent didn't read the tweet right and just started going off. I'll find it here. Give me a few minutes to scroll this through.
While you're looking for it, I am going to say one thing I find really interesting about TSM's current thing with their roster is that one thing we also haven't mentioned, Vitality signed Bo, by the way. So that's not happening. But there will be no TSM Bo, sadly. But one thing I looked at TSM's roster and I was thinking about when I saw that they picked up Mia, right, is
Yep.
that their academy has instinct. And get your rocks off, get it out. Get it out. We have instinct. 100 Thieves pipeline, blah blah blah.
Yep.
Get out.
I don't have to say
But
shit.
I could see, and they're letting Mia play with him in academy together, and I'm pretty sure they picked Mia up to replace uh Shen Yi.
Yeah,
I could see a world where they both end up in LCS next season
I could. Found the player, by the way.
together. Who?
Acadian.
He's coming back to playing?
Yes, he became the coach of Golden Guardians Academy this past offseason. Coach Guardians Academy for one split, and then took over the jungle role.
He's jungling for Golden Guardians now?
Yeah, their
Why?
academy team. Why?
What?
Why? Because management's fucking dumb. There's no scenario ever where I'm putting Acadian back in my roster as a player.
No?
There's so many other person, like, we know his ceiling. What is there to learn about this guy unless he's coaching an entire veteran roster, which he's not. It's Concept, Acadian, Lighter, Array, and Chime.
Oh, leaders on their team?
Or Leader, yeah.
You're fine. I wasn't trying to say you got it wrong. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
That's their team.
Okay, so why are they?
That's my fucking point.
Okay.
Like, what good does he do on that roster when you could have a younger
I don't
jungler
know.
with a better coach to help them develop and actually flesh out from there? That is the biggest waste of a spot on any academy team that I've seen in a long goddamn time.
Yeah. That's really disappointing, to be honest. Why would you put Acadian on your academy team?
I don't know. I agree with Alex. Like, Anero is one of those coaches where, like, I don't know if he has a say in that. I feel like that's more of a GM decision than an Anero decision. But whoever the GM is of Golden Guardians making that decision, like, what? I got so many questions, my dude. That's a head scratcher. That's one of the worst moves I've seen in a long time.
I mean, unfortunately, TSM, I know TSM takes the fall for his career, but he hasn't really done anything anywhere.
No, he was on Optic for a while, and I'll tell you right now, he was shit on Optic.
Yeah, I think TSM just takes the fall for him because I know Reggie was a jerk. I'm not like after
Yeah.
all that's come out, there's no way I can like even say wait till the investigation happens. That's just is what it is. But he he is a rude person. But
We'll finish with that topic. I'm saving that one.
he he also was an honest person, and apparently he broke a Acadian
Dude,
who was already broken.
Acadian's a guy that just wants to chill, go to raves, play some LCS games, get a little high, and enjoy life.
See, there were people, right, who had to overwork at TSM, you know.
Yep.
There are people who got paid wrong. And then there's Acadian who just got told he's not good at League of Legends. And he probably filed the complaint too.
Probably just walked into like the Department of
Yeah.
Labor's office and been like, "Hey, here's a DM for you."
Yeah, he
Like
called me bad.
he said I suck. He's not
File it.
wrong. He's not wrong, but I don't appreciate him saying it on a public scale.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we hop into this investigation? Because this,
No.
I have a feeling it's gonna get heated.
I mean, yeah, it's not good.
Let me get your
I
take first before I rail.
um
He's
well,
innocent.
yeah, he's innocent because he says so. Which is all you know, that's always a good thing when your GM says he's innocent because he has decided he's innocent.
Your owner, to be clear, not your GM.
Oh, owner, yeah, you're right.
I don't want
So,
to bring Dominic down with
yeah.
Reggie's fall from
What
grace.
feels good right now as a TSM fan is honestly nothing. The whole org is different. That nobody is relatable. Uh, they're terrible at making their keeping streamers happy. They're terrible at like promoting anyone. They've ruined their brand building. Their YouTube is basically worthless, and we're not winning anymore. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which was the only thing we really ever had, was that we won a lot.
You won that Apex tournament or Rainbow Six.
Well,
tournament.
they win a lot of stuff outside of League, but when you're terrible with streamers, and I love Cutie Cinderella, but I think she's leaving, which sucks.
Really?
Hikaru left. Well, I just don't see why she would stay. Every streamer's leaving because they keep saying that we don't do anything with them.
Yeah. I mean that's fair. I have not
Yeah,
seen TSM do like really anything with Cutie other than like. Actually, no,
yeah.
I can't think
They
of anything that they've done.
they
with her.
tweet her stuff out. That's
Yeah.
it. And I don't know. And then your owner decides to self-investigate himself and calls himself innocent, which takes a lot of balls in the middle of your whole organization falling apart to look at the fans and say, I'm innocent. Like, it just is, it sucks. It sucks. It feels like the best way to equate him is he is Dan Snyder. And I am a Washington, well, now Commanders fan. Like, I am sitting here with a completely new team. The only thing that hasn't changed about TSM in the past 3 years is the name.
Yeah.
That's about it. And when that's all you have left, you're really hurting. Like, your fan base. I mean, nobody's left. Like, no fans are left. The Reddit subreddit is even different now. Like, there's a lot of different people on there than there used to be. And it's just not that fun to be a fan of like an org that's trying to kill itself. And yeah, I don't even know. Like, and your owner's a complete jerk, and he self-investigates himself on top of it. That's terrible. That is absolutely awful. Like, I even said for a while, don't like let's wait till the investigation comes out, because I feel like as a fan you can say that as long as you know that nothing morally is too wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You say that. But once I started, the first tweet I saw where that woman, I don't know her name, and that Washington, was it Washington Post article?
Yeah.
The second those came out, I was done with them. Like I was out on them. I was ready to cut ties. Well, it's not like I have any ties with them, but I was ready to
Yeah, as a fan, you
just
were
let them
over it.
go. Yeah, I was done. I was like, yo, I don't have to act like I'm waiting for an investigation anymore because you're a pretty bad human.
Yeah.
Like, one thing I value a ton, and you know how I am with work life balance,
Yeah.
I value that a lot. And that's the one thing he's cut. Can't trust that.
Nope.
Refuse to trust that.
It
That's all I
it's
got for now.
it saddens me that you're
Yeah.
going through the same shit that I went through as an Optic fan back in 2018, 2019. I don't like watching this from the other side. Like, it already sucked enough going through it, like watching your brand decline and watching
Hmm.
the people in charge just fuck it up royally.
Yep.
It's even worse watching it from the outside and watching somebody else go through that same pain.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And the one saving grace that we had as Optic fans was that Hex stepped away. And it was like, okay, well, if Hex came back and there's enough people there that like maybe something could be salvaged with the right people. And as it's shown this past year, as the Optic brand is growing after they merged with Envy, clearly that, there was a reason to have solace in that. Uh, for TSM, I don't know. I don't know what you do here if you're a fan of the org. Because if you're still siding with Reggie after all this, kindly go fuck yourself. Like, I don't know what else to say. The dude announces that he's innocent of any illegal activity on an investigation in himself on fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
It doesn't take me as an accountant and CPA and all the ethics classes in the world that you could take in business school to understand how fucking dumb this is. How that clearly conflicts with itself. How you cannot trust a word that Reggie is saying on this because you cannot reveal an investigation into yourself, likely by an
Yeah.
investigator who's paid by TSM.
And it's a slap in the face to your fans.
Reggie has to go.
Yeah, I think he
I
does.
it's weird say I get nervous saying this shit publicly because I try and make content in the League of Legends sphere. I want to be involved with the league scene long term. But you can't just like sit there and shut up on certain matters. This is one of those where it's like Reggie needs to be told to go. And if nobody within TSM has the balls to raise that concern, then that's a problem. And if they can't, because he has controlling or majority controlling interest, and you literally can't remove him, then people need to leave. Because this is not a scenario where you're going to be able to change him or
Yep.
change the ways or change it. Like, this has shown that there's a fucking problem, as was evident by I think it was the same person from the Washington Post. I'm not 100% certain, but somebody reported on TSM's All Hands, which for those not in the corporate world, your All Hands is a meeting where you bring everybody in the company together to talk about a subject that's going on. When I was with Peloton, we had quite a few, given the fucking news articles that kept coming out towards the end of my time with them.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with this topic. Employees went into that all hands, and I promise you, they know more than we do. And they were just sitting there, like, what? Like, just questioning everything about this. Like,
Yeah.
not understanding why this is happening, what's going on. And you're going to have a lot of people, hopefully, if this is as black and white as it's being made out to be on social media, leave the goddamn organization. It's time to go. It's time to cut ties. Start looking for jobs elsewhere. You all are smart enough. You got into TSM in the first place, which is apparently this highly skilled or highly relevant position to get into. It's time to go. I don't have anything. I don't know what else you say to that other than if you can't see the problems and the ethical dilemmas that exist in this situation, then you're just never going to learn what an
Yep.
ethical dilemma is.
Yep.
You cannot announce the goddamn results of an investigation into yourself on Twitter
No.
and not have some sort of public record from the investigator themselves out there. You also need proof that there were no financial ties. This can't be TSM hired the private investigator, said that it was independent, but yet they're the one paying them. That's not how
Yep.
that works. And I just hope to God that the Department of Labor actually takes this up, or that Riot does something about it. Because I don't want to see this man's face continuously plastered all over League of Legends.
Well, he hasn't. That's the thing too. He hasn't been around.
I don't want to see him involved at all. Let me rephrase.
Well, what I'm meaning though is like,
yeah, no, he's
I
been
don't think
absent from the
TSM fans are
spotlight.
gonna miss him. If I'm being honest.
Let me ask you this: what can TSM do to put you at ease, to wean you back? Besides, like, I know you have love for Spica and some of the players right now, but it's clear that like your love for the org is like dwindling by the moment.
Yeah.
What can they do to turn this around? What action rekindles your faith?
I think if they let Reggie walk, or not let him walk, but they have to basically uninvolve him from the company as much as they can, and they decide to go forward with Dominic, I would be okay with that. But I would honestly need There's a certain amount of what I'd want Dominic to say is not what I think he'd be allowed to say and still be the owner of that, or the GM,
yeah,
of that team. But I would need to hear it. I'd need to hear him be self-aware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd at least want their social media to address it. Yeah, this is esports, video games. You can cut the PR.
Yeah, Carlos has proven that.
Yeah.
You know, it might get him in some trouble sometimes for saying shit that he shouldn't. But at the end of the day, the honesty is always appreciated.
I mean, Reggie hasn't been very. I don't know. It's easy to not care about him lately because he's let everybody walk. He hasn't really done much to make the team better. He's just done more to get money in the organization and squeeze cash out of it. And honestly, I feel like the org feels dead compared to what it used to be. It just feels dead. Like,
I'm with you.
It's kind of bad to say it, but I kind of wish it would die and they'd sell it off so I could pick a new team.
I'm curious. If you had to pick one right now, who would you pick?
I can't until they
yeah, no, I'm
you know how I am.
No, I couldn't
I really don't know.
I couldn't do the same either. I tried to watch 100 Thieves when I was told like internally that Immortals was getting Optic and that they were going to rebrand. I tried to like watch 100 Thieves games and be like, okay, this is my future team. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It wasn't until the Optic brand was like formally gone and like I watched that first day of Spring LCS without Optic there that I was like, okay, I actually somewhat enjoy watching 100 Thieves like independently of Optic. Like that.
Now I could do the team. That's probably who I'd switch to anyways.
100 Thieves.
Yeah, because I know so many, or I have friends who watch them.
Yeah.
So it would at least give me commonality. You know what I mean? But
I mean, I'll be honest with you, though, it's not going to feel the same. I'm just warning you now.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I know it won't. But that's the thing. I know TSM won't die, so I know that's not really a problem. I was just saying that because it would make it a little bit more enjoyable, right? But it's like there's just nowhere to like link yourself to right now as a TSM fan. Like Spica kind of does.
But Spica's gone.
But yeah, Spica's probably gonna leave, and it's not like Spica's playing insane league right now. Is the other issue?
No.
Like
that. That's where it was like we were talking before. Like Spica to TL was pretty much like a sure thing. Like go to
Yeah.
TL, play with Bjergsen, kind of go from there. But like, if I'm TL and I'm looking at his performance so far, it's like I don't know about that.
Yeah. No, I actually think that like the reason they don't have him already is because they don't
They don't have faith.
see it as worth it.
No,
I think they'd already have him if they wanted him.
I don't think there's a point to though, because TSM is not gonna like waive his buyout, and he'll be
Mhm.
free at the end of the year without any extra cost. So there's no point.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But yeah, also if you know you can get him, you take him. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get you.
And well, no, I'm saying like if he's that good, you would pay the buyout. And I think they realize he's not as good as they thought.
No, definitely not. We'll see.
Which sucks because I think last year they would have paid the buyout.
Yeah, probably.
But here
Anything
we
else
are.
you wanna cover before we close it off here? I got some content stuff I got to film, and then
No. So no games tonight.
probably not.
Wow.
I don't. No, definitely not.
Wow.
Sorry.
All good.
I want to play, but I cannot.
Wow.
What? Don't blame me.
Nothing. Nothing.
On
I
a
didn't say anything.
on a separate positive note. Oh my god.
What? What?
I just got permission to co-stream LCS Academy.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Holy fuck, dude.
Okay.
If you're
Wait, like
reading
on Twitch or something?
if you're reading this email, then wait, hang on, let me just make sure I can like say this publicly.
Okay.
Okay. If you're receiving this email, that means you're approved to co-stream our Academy Proving Grounds and Proving
Okay.
Grounds Circuit qualifier matches. To help coordinate any questions, please join our official Discord server. You can find the full policy there, given the event schedule. You are allowed guests on your co-stream as long as they're 18 plus, so you're allowed to co-stream with me. Chat must be adequately moderated. You must have the relevant hashtags in your title: Academy Watch Party, Proving Ground Watch Party, Proving Grounds Qualifier Watch Party. League sponsors may not be altered or covered in any way. I love Alienware. Hi, Alienware. Would love to, do something beyond that. Uploading YouTube VOD/highlights is permitted so long as it's 24 hours after broadcast. So I would have to make the stream private afterwards for 24 hours and then upload it afterwards as well.
Okay.
Holy shit, Paul.
That's pretty big.
You trying to watch some Academy games together? And Proving Ground games together? Anytime TSM and 100 Thieves play, we're co-streaming it.
Fine.
Like that. So here's the thing. Just putting this out there. I am not going to co-stream every single Academy game or Proving Grounds game. Do you realize how many games there are out there? The one thing that I want to make it clear with this is like, while I am a fan of like young talent, I'm a fan of young talent within the orgs that I like. So like any 100 Thieves next or 100 Thieves amateur game, I'm gonna try and co-stream that, as well as like TSM's games as well for Paul. I'm not gonna do every team though. Like this it's too much. I work a full-time schedule. It can't happen.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the thing that I was gonna tell you about either. The thing that I was gonna tell you about was that I'm possibly getting another paid TikTok promotion.
Oh, that'll be cool.
But this time for to model some clothing, actually. So getting some potentially getting some clothing with it.
That'll be cool.
Bro, that's holy shit. Well, that's one way to end the stream. Good thing I didn't turn it off before then. I'm glad I got that reaction live.
I mean, that was pretty cool.
Shit. So, yeah.
That'll be a big deal.
I don't know. I do actually need that in the stream, so Paul and I could talk a little bit off stream. So, any final words before I dip out? Or
No.
before we end the stream?
No, because I was basically disappointed this whole time.
Well, hey. Welcome
Talking about my terrible team.
Welcome to being an Optic fan anytime post 2019. We don't
Okay.
even exist. You're on the pathway to that. Congrats.
Stop it.
All right, everybody, have a great night. We never even did an intro, but thank you for stopping by. Episode, what is this, 44? 44 of the Crossover Podcast. My name's David. This is Paul. We will catch you on the next podcast and also the next Academy co-stream. See ya.
See ya.
No love you, Spiga? Really?
Oh, shoot.
You're welcome, by the way.
Love you, Spiga.
Yeah. See you guys.
Sorry. The
Alright.
second
Stream is
the
off.
second after